Good evening, dear friends in Christ. I hope you have taken part in the Barefoot Liturgy for our Maundy Thursday observance. I have just a short homily this evening, really more of a reflection as we journey together during this holiest of weeks. We all have been washing our hands very carefully and often in these past weeks. I suggest we say a prayer each time we do this, to begin a beautiful ritual of love for one another. Now, tonight is the night reserved for foot washing. I hope that you will wash one another's feet and your family, doing this loving ritual as well. Lately, I've been thinking about the movie The Wizard of Oz. Strange, I know, but remember that movie is about a journey filled with perils and challenges. Do you remember in the movie when Dorothy was on the run from evil forces and she looked up into the heavens and there was writing that said, "Surrender, Dorothy, surrender." I feel like that's what we are being asked to do right now as we walk the way of the cross together. We are being asked to surrender not to evil forces, and not because we are weak or broken, but because we have been given the courage by God to surrender to what is, to let go of life as we think it should be or want it to be right now, accept life as it is. Then we can be more fully alive in each moment during these days and weeks, fully present to our families and to one another. Foot washing is a unique kind of surrender. We have to sometimes give up our silly thoughts about how our feet or someone else's might look or smell. We must let go of our embarrassment or self-consciousness, letting ourselves be fully human and fully present to another person as we kneel and gently wash and dry their feet. We have to be willing to humble ourselves as we kneel before another in unconditional love. It is truly an act of humility. And when we do this simple act, we surrender to what Jesus commands us to do, to wash one another's feet, to love one another as he loved us. Peter certainly was resistant to having Jesus kneel before him and wash his feet. But remember Jesus' words, "You can have no part of me unless I wash your feet." This humble act meant everything. That's the miracle of such a simple action. It symbolizes everything Jesus had taught about love for the years of his ministry. Jesus is asking his disciples to surrender, to give up life as it had been for them, with their teacher by their side. It was time for the disciples to let go of Jesus as a daily companion and fully see, to come and understand his cosmic mission. Jesus was for the whole world, not just for them. It was time for them to take up the mantle of leadership, to spread and share God's love. And to begin this, what they had to do was to love one another as Jesus had loved them. After Jesus washed the feet of his disciples on that same night, he went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. And when the guards came to arrest him, this is what Jesus said: "Put your sword back in your sheath. Am I not to drink the cup that the Father has given me?" Surrender. Jesus surrendered to what he knew was his life's mission, knowing that by his loving sacrifice he would bring new life to the whole world. His whole life was a life lived in the love of God. Jesus had prepared his whole life to give up his life at this time, this moment in history. He surrendered his life in order to be an unparalleled witness to unconditional love, a transformative power for each one of us. Love one another as I have loved you, he tells us still today. So on this holy night, may we write this new commandment upon our hearts, the new commandment that Jesus gives to us. Love one another as I have loved you. By this unconditional love, the whole world will know that you are my disciples. Amen.